Hello folks, just a quick build video for you today. I haven't really done much modelling recently. I'm not sure why, but I haven't really got around to finishing anything. But I thought I'd show you this build of this Skoda Turtle which I acquired recently in a job lot. It's a pretty unusual subject. It was designed and built in Czechoslovakia in the 1920s, and as far as I'm aware there's only Takom and Hobby Boss that make this in plastic. As you can see, the Turtle has a couple of unique characteristics, including its round shape, which gives it its nickname, and the fact that it is symmetrical with a double drive system that means it can be driven in either direction using its 4-speed gearbox. 12 of these vehicles were built and trialled by the Czech army in 1925, but they ultimately rejected the design. It was too heavy, it was too low to the ground, and it was too cramped. Skoda then sold 3 of the vehicles to Austria for use by their police force, while the Czech police took the remaining 9. When Germany invaded Czechoslovakia in 1939, the German army acquired these vehicles, removed the 4 machine guns, and used them as mobile communication relays. This is a remarkably simple kit, and it took me only a couple of hours to put it together, although as you'll see in a minute, I suspect the painting scheme will take me much longer. Inside the box we only have 4 sprues, or actually only 2 sprues really, because each of them is duplicated. We have 2 sprue A's, each of which contains half the floor and half the turret, and 2 sprue B's, each of which contains some suspension components and a couple of wheels. We then have this large single piece upper bodywork, and a single sprue of clear parts. The instructions follow Takom's standard format, the sort of CAD style design, and there is quite a lot of repetition in it due to the symmetry. So we start by making up 4 of the suspension arms, 2 pieces of the drivetrain, and 4 mounting points for the wheels. We then add the drivetrain and suspension to one half of the floor, and then do that again. We put the 2 floor halves together in step 4, put the wheels on and build up the 2 turret halves in step 5 and 6, add some machine guns, some hatches and some lights in 7 and 8, add the turret in step 9, and you'll see here Takom have done what they often do, which can be a bit confusing. We've got 2 step 10s there, which in this case are identical in terms of the parts added. The difference is the step 10 on the left has the machine gun sticking out the turret there, and the step 10 on the right doesn't. And although it doesn't label it, that's for the different painting schemes, which we'll look at in a moment. And then finally the bodywork goes onto the wheels, and again 2 step 11s, even though we're basically doing we are doing exactly the same thing. Let's have a look at the colour schemes. We get 5 colour schemes, 3 of them are essentially the same. So you can see here we've got this multi-colour camo scheme. This is Czech Police 1937, and we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades there. A sort of a blue-grey, a sandy colour, a brown, and 2 shades of green, divided with what looks like black lines. The second scheme is very similar, a different pattern but the same colours, and this is Training Squadron Armoured Cars 1932. And once again here, maybe slightly larger patches this time, Assault Vehicles Regiment 1925 to 1932, but very, very similar to the first 2 designs. Slightly different, and probably a lot harder to replicate, is this sort of splinter scheme here, using the same colours as the previous 3 schemes, but in this case no dividing black lines, and it's hard-edged splinter camo. It'll be very interesting. I'm trying to think about how I could possibly replicate that. I've got a couple of ideas, but this is the scheme that I'm most drawn to just because it is quite different. And then finally down here we have the German captured version, May 1940, overall Panzer grey. And you can see there we've got the added parts for the antenna for the communications relay. That is included in the kit. I do quite like this version, but I don't just want to paint the vehicle overall grey. So onto the build, and as I said, this was a very quick kit with quite a lot of repetition. And one thing I noticed as I was building up the suspension section is that most of it is completely within the vehicle, and there's no way to see it at all once the model is finished. Due to the shape of the body, those doors are molded in, and cutting them out and making them workable, or posing them open, probably wouldn't be very successful. We could modify the top hatches on the turret to be open, and if you're the kind of person who likes scratch building and things like that, perhaps building an interior could be an interesting project. You can see a couple of times here where I've joined the halves together. I've done quite a bad job at making them match. The plastic is really quite soft, and I did over-sand a couple of the edges. The drivetrain and suspension attach sturdily to the floor of the vehicle. And again, I would have done a better job of cleaning these parts up if they were to be visible. Once we've got the two identical halves, we can join them together using the tabs they have. This didn't feel super sturdy even with that cross support in, so I did clamp them down to make sure they stayed straight. The turret is made of 4 quarters, and it does fit well, but of course you've got a lot of potential for movement there. So what I did was tape them together, tape them into the lower bodywork to make sure they fit okay, and then just ran some extra thin along the turret seams. Although it might seem wrong, the machine guns here do mount from the outside, not from the inside. So we have that curved backing plate there, and the machine gun's just literally going like that. It looks strange, but all of the references seem to agree with that. That also means, of course, the machine guns need gluing into position, and therefore they're not workable. There weren't really fit issues as such with the single piece bodywork, but I did need to make a few adjustments in terms of sanding seam lines and so on, just to make sure everything went together really well, because it is quite a tight fit overall. And you can see here as I put the wheel arches in, there's not a perfect fit there at the front, or indeed at the top. In the end, what I did was glue in the 4 wheel arches and the floor all at the same time. Try to get everything to snap into place, and you do get a bit of a click when that happens, and then run along the seams again with some extra thin. Wheel-wise, we have these vinyl tyres, and we can't assemble the wheels separately because they go into the tyres from opposite sides, so they need to be glued in now. I did find some 3D printed tyres for this online. I'm just not quite sure if I want to download them and have the hassle of getting the printer out yet. I might do. Fitting the turret again was a little bit difficult. Ultimately I went for gluing down 2 of the edges, letting that dry a little and then gluing down the other 2. As you can see here, I do need a little bit of filler around a couple of those edges, but overall it's not too bad. I then gave everything a coat of AK Grey primer, and now I've got to think about how I'll do the paint scheme. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button or leave a comment below. I would like to say thank you for watching. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members, and I hope to see you in a future video. Until then, thank you very much for watching.